during your investigation, given the questions that you have just answered, is it true the evidence gathered during your investigation did not establish that the president was involved in the underlying crime related to Russian election interference as stated in Volume 1, page 7?
We found insufficient evidence of the president's culpability.
So that would be a yes.
Pardon?
That'd be a yes.
Yes.
Hey folks, welcome to Galsta. Today, we are uncovering the controversies of Robert Mueller, former FBI director. While everyone talks about Trump and Russia, Robert Mueller's biggest impact was quietly transforming the FBI after the worst attack on American soil. So, who exactly was Robert Mueller? Born on August 7, 1944, New York City, U.S., Robert Mueller was an American law enforcement official best known for leading the FBI and investigating major national issues. He served as the director of the FBI from 2001 to 2013 for 12 years, including during the time of the September 11th attacks. After that, he became widely known again when he was appointed as special counsel to investigate Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. So, in short, he was known as a serious, disciplined, and very private investigator who handled some of the most sensitive cases in the United States and was respected for being neutral and fact-focused, though sometimes controversial. Before leading the FBI, he was a Marine officer, a prosecutor, a man shaped by structure and duty. And in 2001, he was given one of the most powerful roles in the world, director of the FBI. But no one knew his biggest test would come just days later. On September 4, 2001, Mueller officially took charge. 7 days later, the September 11th attacks shook the world. In a single morning, everything changed, and Mueller, new to the role, was suddenly responsible for finding answers. Who did this? How did it happen? And could it have been stopped? To uncover this, the FBI launched its largest investigation in history. Thousands of agents, millions of documents, global intelligence operations. The mission was simple: trace every connection, every suspect, and every missed clue. They called it one of the most complex cases ever, and at the center of it all was Mueller. But as the investigation unfolded, another question began to emerge. Not just who was responsible, but what had been missed before it even happened. In the years after 9/11, reports revealed something unsettling. There had been warning signs, intelligence fragments, suspicious activity, signals that, in hindsight, seemed important, but they weren't connected in time. Mueller later acknowledged that the system had gaps in communication, gaps in coordination. And while no single person was blamed, the question remained: how did the world's most powerful intelligence system miss something so big? Well, what I feel is we are humans after all, and we tend to do mistakes, and that is how we learn. So did Robert Mueller. After 9/11, everything changed. Under Mueller, the FBI transformed. It became more aggressive, more focused on prevention, more driven by intelligence. But with that power came criticism. Some said the agency went too far. Others believed it didn't go far enough. Years later, Mueller would return to the spotlight, this time investigating political power at the highest level. And once again, he chose the same approach. No drama, no clear statements, just facts and silence. That's what makes his story different. Not scandal, not crime, but something harder to understand: restraint. A man who had access to the truth, but never turned it into a narrative. So today, people still ask, did he reveal everything, or only what he believed should be seen? Because sometimes the most powerful secrets aren't hidden by lies, but by silence. Mueller's role was not during the attack itself. His importance was what happened immediately after. He took charge during chaos, led the biggest investigation ever, and reshaped U.S. national security forever. Some of his accomplishments are immediately after 9/11, where Mueller made preventing future terrorist attacks the agency's #1 mission, moving away from a primary focus on solving domestic crimes to proactive intelligence and counterterrorism. He redirected thousands of agents, including shifting about 1,500 from drug enforcement and 500 from smaller white-collar cases to build counterterrorism capacity. He built up analytical and intelligence functions, created field intelligence groups, and centralized control over counterterrorism cases to reduce field office autonomy and improve coordination. He created positions like the Executive Assistant Director for Intelligence, EADI, and the Office of Intelligence to integrate fragmented elements, expanded Joint Terrorism Task Forces, JTTFs, dramatically, more than doubled in number, for better federal-state-local partnerships, invested in modernizing tech infrastructure, forging stronger domestic and international alliances, and improving information sharing to disrupt threats early, oversaw operations that dismantled groups like the Holy Land Foundation, HLN, Global Relief Foundation, GRF, and Benevolence International Foundation, BIF, which were linked to funding terrorism, arrested and prosecuted individuals like Ayman Farris, who plotted against the Brooklyn Bridge, and others providing material support to al-Qaeda, managed the post-9/11 response, including a 24/7 command center, daily presidential briefings, deployment of 6,000+ agents, tracking hundreds of thousands of leads, and processing massive tips to prevent follow-on attacks, promoted a shift from reactive prosecution to predictive prevention, supported expanded surveillance and authorities under laws like the Patriot Act, while balancing national security with civil liberties concerns, though controversial in some areas. Credited with helping prevent numerous terrorist attempts through intelligence-driven disruptions, with former colleagues and presidents noting the reforms saved countless lives by stopping threats before they materialized. And many more accomplishments of this legend to count, but let's just end here. We should never forget about the work he did for his country. According to multiple reliable sources, including the New York Times, BBC, Associated Press, NPR, and Wikipedia, Robert S. Mueller III died on March 20, 2026, at the age of 81 in Charlottesville, Virginia. His family confirmed the death in a statement released on March 21, 2026. He had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2021, though the exact cause of death was not immediately specified in initial reports. Rest in peace, Robert Swan Mueller III. For more stories like this, subscribe to Galsta. I will see you in the next video. Take care.